Suddenly, a shadow person appeared by my side with his hands wrapped around my throat as tall as the ceiling, and most surprisingly, he immediately asked me to do something. Here's what happened, here's what I learned, and don't worry, I don't teach fear. This isn't a scary ghost story. It's weird, but it's educational. And it is based on my real experience. My literary agent wants me to get to 10,000 subscribers. And some of my channel's most loyal viewers still haven't subscribed. Please help me get published. It's been my dream since first grade. With that, let's get into it. So, if you've seen Scooby-Doo, you're familiar with a shadow person. I mean, it literally is what it sounds like. It's like a dark, swirly, smoky, human-ish figure. Sometimes, most often, you'll see one kind of slipping by out of the peripheral of your eyes, or gliding towards you, or in my case, they just simply appeared by my side. Shadow people are a global phenomenon, just like near-death experiences. Pre-NDE, fear ruled my life. Mid-NDE, I learned fear was a man-made thing. It was a man-made concept. Post-NDE, I knew the truth, but still felt shamefully hypocritical because my lifelong DEFCON 1 fear of the dark still felt so real. I've always feared, since the crib, what new kind of creature or dimension I'd possibly see. And when I got back from my near-death experience, I could not stand knowing with a capital K something and still living as if it wasn't true. There's no way around but through, so I committed to meditate in the dark every day until my higher self and I's co-created inevitable scary ending happened. This method works, but a word of caution. You've got to feel emotionally safe. So when in doubt, don't rush. Marinate on it. Or something like where you include a friend. Even for me, I meditated on the closed lid of a toilet, staring into the bathroom mirror across from me with the door closed. I knew the safety of daylight was like a knob's turn away. But I had a plan, for sure, in place, ready to go, like on automatic. Don't do this without a plan. And it was a plan backed by my genuine experiential conviction of how I would meet whatever situation came about. The consciousness we often call God is made of, let's say, one ingredient. It's genuine, unconditional love. Though we try, human love is incomparable, which is the point. We're supposed to live this way. We're supposed to be experiencing separation in this third dimension, in this school. So that said, real unconditional love is the most high frequency output we as humans can ever strive to embody. Nothing is safer, nothing is stronger. So when the shadow being suddenly appeared at the start of this one meditation, about 2 weeks into this practice, my eyeballs registered how tall it was. It was literally looming over me because it was as tall as the ceiling. I registered its darkness. It was smoky and shifting, but I could not see through it at all, which is pretty rare. And most astutely, I registered that its smoky arm hands were like firmly grasped around my throat. This is why plans. If I did not have a plan at this point, I'd imagine peeing on top of the toilet and my brain shattering. So I instantly went with my script. And this might surprise you. It's not going to be what you think. But I said immediately over and over, like my life depended on it, I am you, you are me, we are one, we are God. And I packed it with as much genuine sentiment as I could. Instead of asserting emotions that would drive us apart, I did the complete opposite. I embraced it in love and allow it to merge. Love trumps everything. It is the closest we can get to embodying God, period. I am proud to report I did not pee myself. And the shadow person did not actually restrict my airways. It was just kind of a symbolic, very effective stance. During these first moments, we were merged, and I could feel that this was not a whole soul. It was not a wandering, lost person who couldn't find the light. It was a thought form generated by a once living person by repetitive negative thinking. And this was kind of part of themselves, like a piece of bark that just kind of shed. And before this person passed, they had not done the work to look at themselves and essentially, call this piece of them home again. It was a left behind, rejected facet. By the way, this is why shadow work is so crucial. If you do honestly know that you have a fear or anything negative that has really shaped your life since childhood, and you've wished it away, but never actually faced it, attempted to heal it, and come to peace with it, this kind of work can be miraculous. But this is up to you as a spiritually responsible adult. Like, only you know if you're ready to face something like this. You can go too fast with this and get emotionally completely overwhelmed. So you really want to be aware of that. And you also want to be aware, people can get locked into shadow work, and it's almost like they're never fixed. And that's simply not true. We're all whole and divinely perfect just as we are, but being an eternal essence wrapped in a personality, we are going to have some facets of our personality that are like wildly overgrown. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, that was fear, and expressly fear of the dark. That's what happens when you're born clairvoyant, Another quick point, be smart in a practical, left-brained way. For example, let's say you're like, you try this and it's too much. Stop. Try it next time with a trusted friend. Or, like me, in the middle of the day. So I knew emotional safety for me was just like a quick wrist turn. Boom, door open, daylight. I'm fine. So after all of this, my fear began to leave me. And this is when the shadow being actually asked me to do something, which I was not expecting. That is not what you expect, right? Looking like it should not be real, with its hands around your throat, just going straight in, asking for a favor. So unexpected, truly the most unexpected part of this entire thing. The shadow being said, I do not wish to drain. I just want a change. I think this may be my filter, but a lot of times when I channel, etc., they come in like rhyming. I don't know why. We're all different, right? I'm a writer. I don't know. I never actually really liked poetry, so that's kind of ironic. Okay, off topic. But it helped me articulate specifically what my worst fear about the dark was. And that was the gift this being gave to me, that there was a being with the ability to literally drain me of my life energy. The being knew exactly what my fear was. And that was such a gift to hear, spoken so precisely. And I felt into the being, and my intuition just said, it craved the same thing I do, the same thing it craved to be a part of again. But my intuition took over, and I called out to Archangel Michael and my higher self, and I just began in the same way I had been in my mind chanting my mantra. I began just speaking, you are loved, you are one, you are safe, you are God. And between my input, which was a very real sentiment, and the help of Archangel Michael and my higher self, the being instantly evaporated. And I was left calm and satisfied and grateful. And I knew for that particular shadow being, I had been able to help bring him. I say him because just like angels, there was no gender expression at all. I could tell that this particular being was reunited and was one again, capital O. I can't say this is the motive for all shadow beings. And I also want to say this. I went to do a long meditation after this, and I asked a lot of questions. And one of them, which I had intentionally not asked before, because I didn't want to know, could a shadow person injure a person? And the answer I received was yes, but, like with a huge asterisk, but that never, ever needs to happen. Because like I said, the frequency of unconditional love is so toweringly powerful that nothing stands a chance. If whatever it is chooses to pose itself as opposition to you, you have unconditional love, which cannot be topped. And again, this is just what I got. There's never a reason, ever, for that to happen. And as I told you, I know how this being materialized with his hands around my neck. It was to get the point across. To me, this is your worst fear. But also notice the being was there serving me as much as I was able to serve the being. This had to be a part of my story of facing the truths with a capital T that I learned during my near-death experience. Like, they still felt not true. And this was a part of my process. So leave me any questions. This is a weird one. And thank you so much to our subscriber who asked for this video. I love getting video requests. Please, if you haven't, again, help me get my book published. I will put a link below to a really juicy playlist of all this. Thanks, you guys. I love you all, and I will see you next time.